it's Jessie V, and today we're going to be talking about some very creepy vintage beauty products. The things they used to do back in the day was horrifying. The pictures that I found while researching for this video will literally blow your mind. Some of these things I'm going to show you may actually be the scariest things I've ever seen in my life, and they're real. But before we get started, I just want to announce I have new merch and I'm wearing it right now. This is a crop top. I've never ever done a crop top before, but I thought because summer's coming up, this will be perfect. So as you can see, it says proud to be strange and unusual. It has like a metallic print on it, and all of the stars and the moon have glitter metallic. I wanted to do a moon because, as you guys know, I have a moon tattoo. It's right over here, and I like to call everything I do strange and unusual, so I thought this was like the perfect shirt to make. I did get some inspiration from Beetlejuice. If you guys remember the scene where Lydia goes, "I myself am strange and unusual." So these shirts aren't super cropped or anything. I would say they're just a few inches cropped. They're perfect for like high-waisted jeans, and they're also a loose fit. So for example, this is an extra small on me and it's still kind of loose, and I usually wear a small. So if you want it to be more fitted, size down, and if you want it to be like the loose fit it's supposed to be, pick the size you usually are. So I will link this shirt down below in the description. It is limited time, so once they're gone, they are gone. But I also made sure to include a second color for you guys. So I actually have this really pretty bluish green, and it has a silver metallic and sparkles on it. And on the back of both shirts, it says Jessie V. So there you go. So like I said, these will be linked down below in the description, and I think these are my favorite shirts I've ever done. They just represent me so well, strange and unusual. All right guys, so let's get into these very creepy vintage beauty products. The very first thing is the electric hair dryer. The hair dryer was first invented by a French stylist in 1890, and this photo I'm showing you now was taken in 1928. Hair dryers used to be very clunky and very dangerous. In fact, they were considered unsafe until the 1950s. So if you put your hair under this, it's up to you. I mean, you're risking it. These things would get very hot, they were very flammable, they would cause fires all the time, so if you put your head in this, good luck. Imagine going to the hairdresser and she's like,
"Alright, so we're gonna dry your hair. Put your head under this weird contraption."
Alright, next we have the facial ice box. This ice mask was used by Hollywood actresses to refresh the face between takes without spoiling the makeup. So right after they were done a scene while they were acting, they would be like, "Okay, where's my ice mask?" I don't know about you guys, but I feel like if I wore this in between takes, it would mess up my makeup because ice is wet and cold, and I feel like it just wouldn't work for me. Like, imagine wearing mascara with that thing on. No thank you. All right, next we have the perm machine, and this one is definitely ultra creepy. The first electric permanent wave machine was introduced in London in 1909. This apparatus is called the Gallia, and it curls your hair for better, faster results. Okay, I'm looking at this picture and it looks like she has a robot jellyfish on top of her head. It looks like this woman is strapped to a medieval torture device. My sister is a hairdresser, and I feel like if she saw any of these devices, she would cry. I just feel like looking at these, it must have done so much damage to the hair and they had no idea back then. Permanent waves? More like permanent damage. Next we have the swimming face mask. This is gonna be in my nightmares, guys. This 1920s face mask meant to protect a user's face from the sun. And listen, I don't judge, do whatever you wanna do. But wasn't sunscreen a thing? I mean, maybe it wasn't invented back then at that time, but if someone walked past me with this swimming mask on, I'd be like, "Excuse me, what's that? What is that?" Next we have the dimple machine, and this is just so ridiculous. This bizarre invention by a woman named Isabella Gilbert consisted of a face-fitting spring that pressed two small knobs into the cheeks, intended to create a fine set of dimples. Guys, these were literally metal pieces that would press into your cheeks and cause like scarring. What? And everyone started buying it because they wanted to have these cute dimples. But soon enough, it was actually called out to be a scam. Because obviously metal poking into your face is not gonna give you something that you're supposed to be born with, like dimples. Unfortunately, a lot of these products were were just false advertising, but people would just believe it. They fell for it. The next item is the Beauty Micrometer. Also known as the Beauty Calibrator, this nightmare-inducing device was created by Max Factor in the early 1930s. Its purpose was to take detailed measurements of a woman's face in order to identify her flaws. So doctors would put these things on women's faces to find her flaws. With this information, she would be able to know exactly where to apply corrective makeup. And I mean, you can't tell me that this doesn't look like a medieval torture device. Right? Imagine going to visit your doctor and before you left, he was like,
"Actually, before you go, can I stick this thing over your head to find your flaws?"
I'd be like, "Excuse me, sir, you should be fired." All right, next we have the aluminum sleep mask. Okay, this was from 1924 and I don't even know whether I should be laughing or crying. This aluminum face mask was intended to induce sleep by forcing warm breath to the eyes. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to sleep with this thing over my face. I feel claustrophobic just looking at it. Next we have the Snowstorm Face Protector. These conical plastic headpieces were briefly used by Canadian women in 1939 to shield their faces from snowstorms. I'm sorry, but no. Imagine your friend asks you to go for a walk and you're like, "All right, I'm coming, Martha. Just gotta put my beak on." Next we have freezing freckles. In the early 1900s, freckles were thought of as a problem, which is so crazy for me to even read right now because freckles to me are so beautiful. Like, I'm jealous I don't have them. But back in the day, unfortunately, they were thought of as the opposite of beauty, which honestly is ridiculous. Don't even listen to that. So they had procedures to freeze them off with carbon dioxide. Patients' eyes were covered with airtight plugs. Their nostrils were filled in for protection, and they had to breathe through a tube. It's just so crazy because in our day and age now, people wish they had freckles. Like, they're applying freckles with makeup, they're trying to get freckles on their face with henna, people are getting tattoo freckles. Everybody wants them, but back in the day they didn't. It's so crazy how things change. And if you have freckles right now, I'm jealous, you're beautiful. Next we have the heat mask. This terrifying mask from the 1940s could be plugged in to heat the face and head in an attempt to stimulate circulation and make the skin look fresh. Okay, Kermit the Frog. Next we have the sun cape. Before the invention of sunscreen in the mid-1940s, bathers wore garments like this freckle-proof cape to protect themselves from the sun. The cape also features built-in sunglasses. All right, if I saw this run past me while I was lying in the pool, I would think it was a ghost. And like freckle-proof capes, oh my goodness. And so I guess this just proves to me that sunscreen wasn't invented until after the 1940s, so there you go. And lastly, we have the shower hood. Instead of simply putting their hair up or using a shower cap, people used to put an entire plastic hood over their face while they showered. I mean, why didn't people just not put their hair under the water? Like, I take showers and not wash my hair sometimes. It's not that hard. And if your hair gets like this much damp, you're gonna survive. It's okay. It's just so weird to see what people had way back in the day. The world has changed so much. Anyway, so guys, those are all the very creepy beauty devices we're gonna look at today. If I missed any good ones, definitely comment them down below. But if you want me to do more videos like this talking about creepy vintage items, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Don't forget the link to these cool sparkly crop tops are down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!